Welcome back to Pac-Manufactured, a series all about Pac-Man clones. In this episode we're taking a look at 3D-Man, developed by Klepp Nikolaus. The executable is dated the 29th of November 2000, and it was released for the PC as a part of the Pac-Max Classics compilation, which I recently picked up. So, this isn't rendered in 3D, this is actually just 2D art, and it's all forced perspective, sort of isometric style. Very similar to Cuba or something like Marble Madness. And actually quite similar to Cuba in the fact that you have to sort of like recondition your mind to make use of the directions in the correct way, because obviously you have a standard sort of four-way directional movement, but you have to try and figure out which way up and left actually correspond in the isometric maze, which is a bit confusing at first, but you do get used to it. It's a pretty standard Pac-Man clone in all things considered. It's just that there are a lot more monsters in the maze to deal with, which is pretty tricky. So the way they've counterbalanced this is by giving you an awful lot of power pills, which does work, but I think this isn't optimized correctly for modern operating systems. The box says that this should be functioning under something like Windows 95 or 98, which makes me think that this would run a lot slower on an older operating system, whereas on something like Windows 7 that I use, this is running very, very fast, and it's kind of difficult to react to things quickly, especially when the mazes start to introduce things like teleporters. You very quickly lose track of where you are, and I often get lost and die, you know, unexpectedly because I can't figure out where my character is, which is a little bit frustrating. But otherwise it controls really well. It's nice and fluid. You don't sort of like have that sticky problem where you sort of like turn into the walls and then you just get stuck. You do move down the corridors in a nice fluid way, and yeah, you sort of turn at the junctions fine. But yeah, it's a decent enough little game. It's just a little bit hectic, to be honest with you. It runs a little bit too fast and there's a lot of monsters in any sort of space. But again, give it some time and get used to it, and you do start to make some progress. Maze designs change dramatically every stage. It isn't just the same maze layout every stage. So there's a lot going for this. I actually quite enjoyed my time with it. There's one other power-up that's kind of exclusive to this, and it's like a shield, whereas you can't actually, you know, defeat the monsters, but you can, you know, soak the hit essentially and not take any damage. Yeah, it's very quick. You can very quickly lose lives quite dramatically, actually. Like if you're not powered up, just because of the sheer amount of enemies on screen, you can quickly sink lives like nobody's business, which is a little bit frustrating. But like I say, I think this is running a little bit too fast for my modern operating system, so I don't know if I can really hold that against it. I think if we could sort of throttle this somewhat so that it run at a little bit more of a manageable speed, it would be a really good time. It still is a good time, even with the quicker speed. But yeah, it's something you have to get used to, and yeah, spend some time with it, and I think you would get used to the pace of it, and the way the mechanics work in this one. But yeah, I quite enjoy it, to be honest with you. I think this is probably well worth a play if you like a good Pac-Man clone.